The audio should be coming up and blowing everyone's ears because I just went way too far. Hello, welcome. Let me see if I can do this. Greetings, interwebs. I'm so excited about this little studio thing, I've got to say. It's like a whole new, thing for me to be playing with the entire time and keeping me incredibly distracted. So Baz, you were saying you're in the middle of a game of, what is it? What is this game of which you speak?
Among Us.
Among Us, all right. Which is like so funny because you guys always love these like not crazy complicated games. But it's basically a murder mystery, right?
You know what I want to play too? I want to play
Myst. You mean Myst like from way back in my day? Back in my day?
That sounds really interesting. Maybe I'll play they made a sequel to Myst. Maybe I'll play that.
Well, it's puzzles and things. Hey, Baz, I think you may need to mute, buddy, because your keys are really loud today for some reason. Or maybe you could move the mic away a little bit or something.
Also, hi,
Alright.
Sorry.
Polynomial. Well, polynomial. You know what a Haven't you done polynomials in math yet?
Hi, Moontech. Hi, Lexi K. Hi, Congo 123. Hi, Midian Breach. Hi, Chrissy J. Hi, Jolyn RMK. Hi, Milbert. Hi, Turtle Princess. Who else is here? Hi, 10 UK. Lurking Cat. Hi. So many people.
We got a lot of people today. It's like Friday. People are like excited to get streaming for some reason. All right, I think I've changed the stream title so it actually makes sense. I believe. We'll see. We'll see if I've actually succeeded in doing that. And Ruby K! Ruby K, who keeps us safe. All right, let's go here.
Normally they can't hear us very well.
Do you need the volume up for them? You can hear them a bit, but not well enough. Well, I think now that I have a vague sense of what I'm doing here, I can actually up your volume a bit. All right, here, try Noodles. Talk for a bit. Let's see see if I can adjust it.
I have to say hi to all the people that say my hi Ruby K, hi Hapshade, hi Cal, hi Dizzle, hi X Daz. There you go.
Now Noodles is a bit lower. What about Baz? I mean Ironham.
Oh. Is it Kitsune?
Hey Baz, can you talk for a sec?
Say it again. What's up?
Can you talk? Oh yeah, that's good. All right, so you're a little bit louder than the rest of them. Okay, so all right, so that should be a little better, I think, if I'm right.
Just Mazda. Okay.
It's like hearing them in a room next door. Well, that's good. I want to keep them as far away as possible.
Well, I'll just leave then.
Okay, it feels like hearing them in a room next door. I'm gonna watch your ears for a second. I'm just gonna check the actual hard wire on this. I'm seeing the EQ looks pretty good on it, I gotta say. But I may need to.
Well, actually, considering I'm a few streets down from you, the room next door is pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, she's screaming really loudly. She's screaming really loudly from back there. All right, let me do this. I'm gonna up your Noodles' volume a bit.
Voice.
Whoa! How's that? That could
Hello?
be. Whoa!
Hello?
I'll turn you down then. Maybe my volume's on full, and so I'm not hearing it. I'm hearing it better than everybody.
Seems like you could use some. Oh, there we go! Yay!
We happy? That's good.
And speaking and dreaming of having a.
I'm gonna just make sure that Baz is equal volume, and then I've got to get Commander Cosmo when he drops in.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I know. I'm just checking your volume.
Hello?
All right, good.
I'm very loud.
I think we're good.
Oh.
I think we're good. We're good. Okay, I gotta go. Just wanted to stop in and say hello. Oh, Chrissy G. Well, thank you for coming in and saying hello. Appreciate it. Where are you off to? I gotta try to get this yoga ball out of the way. It's driving me crazy, yoga ball. Go away, yoga ball.
Sorry that I took it out yesterday.
You unleashed the yoga ball, and that was the problem. It's true.
It's comfortable.
Isn't it great? I love it. Coffee. Okay, so peeps, everybody. Welcome, interwebs. We're doing Tech Bandits. We got Friday Tech Bandits. We're going to talk tech today. We'll probably stray a little, as you know, Noodles is very distracting. The general rules are: feel free to dual screen. Just stay connected enough that if there's something that interests you, you can jump in and give me some thoughts on things. So basically, I'm talking. What was that?
Unfortunately, I don't have anything to dual screen and distract me from your.
You will once you get that beast built, right? Can we see it? Should I pan down and show you what we were working on yesterday? So if anyone missed it yesterday, we were working on that beast right there. So there's a robot in the way.
That's Is that going to be my PC?
It's not going to let me. It's not going to let me zoom. Wait a sec. Let me just zoom in on it for you. If it'll let me do it. Oh,
if you connect.
You know what I need? I need a new camera too. Oh my God, this thing is. Oh, there you go.
David, if you connect the camera, the camera's still there.
Yes, I know, but I thought it was easier to do this. Dun dun dun. There you go. Look at that. I can focus in on.
Also, you kept the purple. The purple looks very nice, actually.
Well, the purple. I've got the purple on just the lights here, like just the above. The above lights are purple. Everything else is white, so it kind of works. So we were working on this PC here. Noodles was putting it together. I think we did everything fairly well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What happened? Did we just die?
Okay.
Did our stream?
Put it on backwards.
Did our stream just die? Hang on a sec.
Oh no, the camera's facing forward.
Good
morning, Doki Doki Becca.
Doki Doki
Ruby
Becca.
says, "What? Stray? Never."
No.
Yep. Totally.
All right, hang on a sec. Are we? What is going on? I guess I must have. You know what I've done? I've put something on my keyboard. That's what it is. All right. There we go. So now I can see what's going on. All right. So we did a little PC building yesterday, which was fun. We haven't quite finished it yet, though. We still got a bit of work to do, right?
Yeah, I saw. I was about to say. I saw Lord Chunky yesterday. Actually.
Oh, did you? Was he out roaming around?
Yeah, on his bike.
Ah, very good. He loves his bike. I'm gonna just get my focus right. Ooh, look at that.
He looks. Dang it! What? Why?
What was that?
Why?
Wow.
And he asked me if I'd been doing PC building, and I said yeah, and I said, I said Lord Chunky, obviously.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because we don't use real names around here.
I said, you're too good at PC building.
Especially you, David.
All your cables are so wired and nice, we can't take them out and put them back in again.
I know, we've had to take them all. We had to undo all of his amazing work. What was that, Lord?
Just cue the time that that David said Noodle's name on stream.
What, Alma?
Can we cue the time last stream that Baz said everyone's name that came on?
Yeah, because no one's as long as you're not saying like last names and addresses, I'm assuming it's okay. And also, I have a feeling no one really wants to. I don't think anyone wants to stalk us particularly. I think we're okay. We're not that interesting.
Also, I know where you live.
They get enough of us on. Well, yeah, you stalk me all the time. Noodles raccoon shows up at my back door and builds PCs. You know, like that's.
I know where your house is, but honestly, I don't know what the number is, or I sort of forget what the street is called, even though it's literally like in the neighborhood.
Yeah, don't even try to.
Might be more. I think we have more of a problem than leaking information. I think I should just learn where I actually.
Yeah, we don't want people walking around the streets of Chicago looking for us.
Chicago.
Like I said, it's important that even if you're dual screening, that you can jump in with a good joke once in a while. That's what we love about Commander Cosmo.
That's what I'm here for.
Exactly, you're here for you're the comedy stylings of Commander Cosmo.
No, I'm just here to say random stuff.
Oh, good. Okay, so you're basically our random thought generator.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, watch it. We could write a program for that. You'd be replaced.
None of us live on Cermick Road in Chicago.
Did you just look up Chicago?
Cermick?
You totally looked up Chicago, didn't you?
I just looked up Chicago and looked at street names, and that was one that popped up.
She's researching our deception because this is a stream of lies. So good morning to everybody. I've got a lot of good mornings here. I'm not going to try to call out everybody because we'll be here all day. But I do have to say, DStat, sponsorship level Patreon. Thank you so much. All of our Patreons, all of our subscribers. I know you hear this every day, but I mean it every day. We literally couldn't do this. Yeah, I did. I think I said it yesterday. I'm pretty sure I did, yeah. I mean, we literally couldn't do this without you. And we certainly couldn't do it like this.
We couldn't do it without Baz either, I'm pretty sure.
No, that's true. We couldn't do it without anybody. Everyone's important, even Cal. But look at that. We couldn't use that. There's no way I could be using a little home broadcasting studio. It's not even a home broadcasting studio. It's like
I figured out how to switch cameras yesterday, and I actually permitted someone. I'm so fancy.
It's true. You permitted somebody, and then you changed. But she changes cameras by like putting her entire body weight on each button. I was like, just touch it. It's like they're touch buttons. They're not like mechanical buttons. They're not like made of stone, and you have to like use your entire body weight to push them into place.
Sorry. I'm just trying to pretend I don't know anything, so I can put chips in the buttons, so I can hack your lights.
Well, that actually is a great segue, Noodles, because forget putting chips in buttons. What about putting chips?
Put chips in your head.
In your head. Yeah, exactly. Like, what do you think of that?
You know why that's so stupid?
Thank you. It's a full-time job.
You know why that's really stupid?
Why is that?
Because, like, there's going to be newer models coming out, right?
But you can replace them. He addressed that. In the Q&A at the end, he said you can actually... Yeah, the robot...
So you just cleave the thing out of your brain.
Well, you don't even have to do that. A robot does it for you. Maybe not one like that. Maybe not like that robot. But there's actually a robotic surgeon that will do it for you. It's literally like talk about upgrades. Remember this
link to David's IMDb page. Please comment on the bad picture he selected for it.
Oh my God, Cal, you're a genius. Here's the deal. Apparently, I don't know if this works or not, but apparently your number on IMDb is like like the film industry cares, or maybe I don't know, somebody cares. So we were joking yesterday that we should just every day we should just all go to my IMDb page and just like bump up the numbers. I always figured that in a way the most famous people are going to be the people who people are looking up the most, which means that they'll be the people who people know least about, right? Like no one has to go and look up. No one has to look up Jason Momoa. They all know who he is. So why would he be...
Who?
Aquaman.
Wait, Kitsune has an IMDb page?
Oh, that's cool. I have an IMDb and I didn't even have to add myself. No, I know people do it for you. Like I don't even know who does it sometimes. So we should all go to Kitsulane's one as well. What if we made Kitsulane like the most famous person on IMDb by just going to her page or his page every single day? Yeah.
I worked on a video game very briefly. Ooh.
Perfect.
Can you tell us what video game?
I don't think my agency's that organized.
I'm just really curious.
So this is a brain-computer interface.
Indivisible. Okay, I'm gonna search that up. 1 second.
Indivisible is the name of the video game.
Okay.
So this is the brain-computer interface.
Cool.
This is the brain-computer interface we used way back when. Remember when we were like, there was this, just before the strike and before pandemics, we were goofing around with this.
It's on the Nintendo Switch.
Is it on the Nintendo Switch? That's cool. What was the game?
Yeah.
What's it called? It's called Indivisible?
Indivisible. Is it hard?
I go there to find my favorite actor's work. Good job in Pin, by the way. Oh, wow, Pin's going back a long way. That was like one of the first films I ever made. All right. Wrangling in the brains for a second here. So, Noodles, you tried this out when we had this at school, right?
Yeah, you had on your blog. You had a really old picture of me.
Oh, right. That's right.
I think it was only last year.
I had to band it.
Last year. I think I've grown too.
I know everyone looks older. Everyone looks much older. But this is made by a company called OpenBCI. They're out of New Jersey, I believe, in New York State. And they are, I love them. I just think they're fantastic. And they've been basically trying to make EEGs, so tools for being able to capture and analyze electrical data in the brain. They've tried to make that affordable to everybody, basically. They've done Kickstarters and all sorts of stuff. I did their Kickstarter because I was just so enamored with this idea, and I also thought it would be really fun to play with the Tech Bandits with this stuff.
Yeah, that was fun.
So basically the Elon Musk thing, it's basically like putting this on a chip and shoving it in your brain, right? What's the big deal?
You know what? You know what's really cool?
What?
If you do like for that, one of my favorite things that you can use about that is that when we tested it, remember we did stuff when we just had our brain full of nothing, and then we screamed in our brain, and it actually went up as scream.
Yeah, that was kind of neat. So basically, the
normal. I was saying egg.
It was like you tried to get as calm as possible, and you would sort of register that. It would register that calm, and then as you got yourself excited, you could actually see the electrical impulses start activating, or at least you got more of it, or whatever it is that. Again, this is there's a lot of discussions about this science, because basically you've got this thing stuck on your head. It's trying to pick up electrical signals through your hair, through your skin, through your skull. It's going to be pretty weak. So the idea of actually getting into the brain and sticking these spikes, these sensors, into regions of the brain so that you can track what is happening, and then potentially even, this is the weird thing, is it's not just read, right? You can write, right? So it's not just being able to read the information, it's actually able to stimulate those sections of the brain. So potentially it could, allow people who can't walk or talk or move to do all of those things. It could help in pain management, because the reality is everything's processed by the brain, right? So what if you could just tell your body you don't feel any pain? We'd all be Deadpool, right? That was Deadpool's special power, right? He didn't feel pain. Well, he also regenerated pretty fast, didn't he? Mm-hmm.
Doesn't Wolverine have that or something?
Oh, Deadpool does feel pain? I can't remember. Somebody didn't feel pain, and that was like part of their... Your mic is destroying me.
Wolverine has regeneration, and I think Deadpool has like...
Cal, what's the deal on the mic today? What's the issue with the mic?
Deadpool doesn't feel pain, and he also can't die.
He can't die, but he does feel it. Okay, all right, very good. Okay.
There's a horrendous background beep, says Cal.
Oh, there is.
I think Dave was just talking too much. I think that's the problem.
No, is that thing again though? That sucks if that's the case. Because that's okay. Let me go to this for a second. Let me just see if I can hear it. Oh, that thing again. We've had this problem before. Wait a second.
I don't hear it, honestly.
No, but it's there. I can hear it. No, I can't remember what it was. It was one of our inputs. I think it might have been... No, it's not that one anymore. So maybe it's... Interesting. It's always like a murder mystery around here, trying to figure out where the sound's coming from. Okay, so no, that sound is not supposed to be there. We've solved this before. And we shall solve it again. Okay. So I'm going to listen on the stream. That is not supposed to be there. You guys can keep talking, but I'm going to...
Wait, I don't have the stream on, that's why.
Okay.
For me, the stream
Okay, where on the stream? So what if I turn off mic, but I'm going to... Okay, so that's not it. What if I turn my mic off?
Just imagine that, like, you're like at school, and it's like, what chip do you have in your head? It's like, oh, I have the SMB 52 or whatever, and it's like, loser, I have the newest model SMB 56 or something. It's like, oh, I have the SMB 52 or whatever, and it's like, loser, I have the newest model SMB 56 or something. Cal, my ears, thank you. And it's like, loser, I have the newest model SMB 56 or something. Cal, my... Oh, hi, James Gurney. Oh, you're mute. Oh, you're muted.
Hey guys, I'm gonna stream
now.
I'm streaming
On the stream now.
I'm streaming in the Discord. Me failing, trying to play the new comp season of Overwatch.
Nice.
I'm streaming in the Discord.
We own the stream now. Apparently, you're muted, David. Nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's interference coming from my mic, which sucks. Yeah, unfortunately, it's interference coming from my mic, which sucks.
This is the best.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's interference coming from my mic, which sucks. I don't know how to solve it then. I don't know how to solve it then.
Well, here we go. Wahaha. All the power. Okay, but for the Elon Musk chip thing, though, like I said, I just feel like it's going to become a competition, like phones, you know. Like I had a babysitter once. She's really nice, but like she was at a ski place or something, and this kid walked up to her and asked, "Hey, what phone do you have?" And she's like, "What? Why?" I feel like that's just what's going to happen with these mind chips. It's going to be like, "Oh, you have the SX5 Pro. Oh, you're such a loser. Oh," and then yeah, I don't know. And then people are going to start lying about what type of mind chips they have, and then it's going to be like, "Oh yeah, I totally have the 5B84. You know, haha, haha." But then, like,
Yeah, like mind chips and stuff. Yeah, I was actually speaking the truth, to be honest.
Almost speaking the truth?
Yeah, I'm saying that, like, there's going to be competition on what mind chips you have. It's like, oh, my parents bought gold dusted mind chips from, like, for, like, $100,000 billion, and, like, yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to try.
That's what snobby people sound like, okay? Yeah, and like, just imagine, like, oh, I don't know. Like, it's one thing for people to be listening to it's one for devices to be listening to our conversations. I think that's inevitable. But imagine, like, hacking that and someone playing, like, the most annoying song in your head, just, like, over and over. I think that's inevitable. But imagine, like, hacking that and someone playing, like, yeah, I just can't imagine. I don't.
All right,
like,
everyone.
idea of that?
Everyone, be quiet for 1 second.
Yeah, I just can't imagine. I don't.
All right, everyone.
Idea of that?
Everyone, be quiet for 1 second.
Yeah, I just can't imagine.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. Commercials. Oh yeah. Like, imagine you're gonna watch. You're just gonna like. You're gonna like. Imagine like watching videos. People are gonna upload it to the Mindchip web, and you're just gonna close your eyes and you're just gonna watch the video. And then you'll be like, oh, commercial, and you'll like blink your eye to skip it or something.
Yeah, I could try. Let me see if I've got another audio cable that might work. Because this worked yesterday, but it's not working today. So it's such a weird setup. It's such a weird setup.
Does your microphone have one of those Ferrero cores?
Ferro cores. The problem is.
Silence David hiss.
The problem is it's a USB mic, and I should have. Oh, you know what I could do? Wait a second.
Wait.
I could set up the other one.
I have a question. If we like, is it possible to time out someone's like if it's their channel? Like, you know how like if you have a certain amount of points, you could time out.
I'm gonna let you talk for a sec.
Could you actually time out like like the person that's running the channel? A Ferrero car? Yeah, Ferrero Rocher. Oh, I love
a Ferrero Rocher car.
So good. It's so good though. It's like so yummy, and it has like
it's so yummy in my tummy. Yummy, 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 yummy.
You can't time out the streamer. Dang it. Yeah, I'm sure timing out Iron Man would break things. I think
bringing out the big guns.
Oh my God, he's bringing out the big guns. I thought he was actually.
I'm going with a full, the real old school XLR mic.
Oh my
except
god.
I think I've...
XLR mic. What?
What did I do with the mic thing? Oh,
Can you
come on.
believe it? XLR mic.
Yeah, this is the...
Oh yeah, it's black now. The stream's black.
That's all right. There you go.
Oh, back to certain. Oh, dang it! He figured it out.
So this
Put that
is
back.
this is an XLR mic. I'll show you. So the mic is, this is like what they would use on shows where they go, "Hello, I'd like to talk to you about this. What do you think? I don't know. What do you think? I don't know." So and it
I
has,
don't know, but I need my sweater. I'm gonna be right back.
it has that kind of a plug on the end of it. That's the XLR thing. But in order to use it, I have to use it through a little recorder. But I think the hope is that this will then could potentially have better sound. In fact, you know what? I might not even need to do that. Wait a second. What if I do this? If there's any power left in this beast.
Phantom powered or no?
All right, let's try this. Okay, hold on to your ears for a second.
It's not gonna bother me because, like I said, the stream's muted for me.
Check.
Check,
Mic.
1 2 1 2.
Mike, how's that? No card, no data. But
Oh.
Are we going to hear this, though, is the question.
David, you're respected for the fact that you don't get a
That-
professional to set up your setup.
No card, no data. But
Oh.
are we going to hear this?
Sound quality. Glorious God.
That sounds way better, doesn't it?
You just blown my speakers off. Sound quality. Perfect. Glorious God.
That
Wow.
sounds way better, doesn't it?
It really is really good. That's loud.
Okay.
No.
All right, Noodles, stop talking for a second. I can't hear whether it's working or not. All right.
Don't pull it too close, they're saying. It's too loud.
Yeah, I know. All right, I need... what can I do? I could record through this mic and then see if that works. All right. Okay, so everyone can still hear me, correct?
It's like you're in, yeah, apparently according to his river song, it's like you're in his, or her, or, gender neutral house right now.
Right.
Like you're in his, oh, hi, John P.
Their house, perhaps?
Yes, their house.
All right. All right, so I will do this. God, it's like... Yeah, I do need someone to come and set up a professional studio. Who's... What, we're losing Murnell already?
Yes, she's going to eat with friends.
Oh, go eat with friends. I would do that too. My
Yeah,
God,
I will.
food over streams every day. Okay, let's try this. If I do this...
Is that
And
you
then-
talking on Mike or David's son? At me. How's okay? Wait, David's testing. I'll answer this. Mike or David's son? Is it working? At me. Also, Sid the jerk asked. David's testing. I'll answer. I'm not talk. I'm talking on a computer mic, like a laptop mic. Is it working? At me. Also, Sid the jerk asked. Oh, they don't hear you, and they don't hear anything. Like a Try and keep up with who's who. Okay.
All right, sorry,
I
folks.
can
I have to go back to this for a sec.
I don't know if they can hear you. Can they hear you?
All right, sorry, folks. I have to go back to this for a sec.
Oh, you're welcome, his river cell. So you're female. Okay.
Okay, so there's that. Low battery on that, which means I need to plug it in. Okay, do I have something that will plug in? If I do have something that would work for that. Okay. All right. Okay. That needs to go over here. Hang on a sec. I will get that. What do I need? I need a plug for that. Oh my God, this is just suddenly got way more complicated.
Don't worry, Sid the jerk. I have. I don't know. I could make a really like whenever before I start talking, I could just like say it's me, Noodle the raccoon, and I'm saying. Oh, Sid, just Sid. Okay, and I'm saying today. Gracie has to do homework. Okay, do your homework, Gracie. Don't try not to procrastinate. That I have issues with procrastinating a lot. Okay, Noodle In from my house where I live in a location I will not reveal.
Will not disclose.
Very secret.
A secret location.
Don't worry, Sid. It's fine. I
I'm
honestly
trying
don't
to
care.
Evil.
How about this? Me and David probably talk the most, and
Let me try
if
this
you
then.
think it sounds like I'm having a conversation with myself, it's probably someone else.
It's because you are having a conversation with yourself. You're a All right. Has anyone watched The Show Goes Wrong? Out of curiosity? Because we're like basically doing an episode of it. It is so ridiculously stupid, but so much fun. Because this is what they basically do live shows every day. Well, every episode is a live show, and then they screw something up. All right. Pardon me for a second.
Okay, don't worry. I've already taken control of the stream, David. I'm never getting it back. It's hard to get audio right without someone giving you feedback. No pun, I know, but it's still funny.
All right. I'm listening. I'm trying this again now. So, all right. It's so either it's the mic itself.
The sound's there again.
So either it's the mic.
Just have a computer mic, like I'm watching on my mom's lovely laptop. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna have to get a nice mic when I get a PC or something, so I can talk to people. Yay. So, here, let me see if I can find what else is on.
Hang on, Noodles, just for 1 second. Just be quiet for a sec. Hang on, Noodles, just for 1 second. Just be quiet for a sec. No, there's something. Yeah, there's definitely something going on. Okay.
Chunky. Chunky's here now.
Hey, Chunky, how you doing? Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
David.
We did not have the hum before. We did not have the hum yesterday, correct? Or did we?
Did for a bit.
And then the problem was that other mic, right?
Must have been. Maybe you just need a new mic. Or I have an idea. What if you steal Baz's mic for the stream and give him your bad one?
No, it's not the mic itself. It's what it's outputting for some reason. Okay, let's try this. How's this? The mic itself, it's what it's outputting for some reason. Okay, let's try this. How's this?
Change the USB port offset. Offset.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, let's try that. Yeah, let's try. Oh, I wish it was alien signals. That'd be so much easier. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, let's try that. Yeah, let's try. Oh, I wish it was alien signals. That'd be so much easier.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Oh my God! So many times have I tried turning it off and on again. So many times.
Perfectly, flawlessly.
Oh my God! So many times have I tried turning it off and on again. So many times. Okay, where are you going into then? I just gotta figure out where we're because of my amazing cable management skills. All right.
It's just turning the mic down and your mic is sticking into something else because you're really loud in here. You know what's sort of weird? The fact that the audio comes fine on Discord.
I'm about to kick it.
David, your audio is fine on Discord.
Yeah.
Because for some reason it doesn't. Oh yeah, we have Lord Chunky here. He's gonna fix it all. He's the master of this stuff. So. Dang it, Lord Chunky.
Lord Chunky doesn't stream. He doesn't believe in streaming. Alright, let's do this.
Dang it, Lord Chunky.
Lord Chunky doesn't stream. He doesn't believe in streaming. Alright, let's do this.
Now your audio's weird on Discord. It's gone. You just unplugged whatever it was.
My mic. Yeah, I unplugged my
Where's
mic.
audio coming in?
Alright. Try a different USB port. Yeah, I unplugged my mic. Yeah. Alright. I wonder if it's actually...
Here, I'm sort of curious.
I'd love to know what it is. Because it's only showing up on the stream. So my concern is it might actually be the box itself.
Yeah.
Because it's only showing up on the stream. So my concern is it might actually...
It's Morse code. Here, I'm actually gonna go off the Discord call for a second. I'm just curious what this even sounds like.
So weird because it's just...
That's horrendous.
Yeah, I know.
Rhino knows.
Alright, let me try. I'm gonna try one last thing. Why don't I mute it for the time being because it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, you just need like Zelenka.
I'm gonna try one last
That's
thing.
your robot friend in Stargate, probably, I'm guessing.
It's driving me crazy.
Well, what's everyone's thoughts on Elon Musk putting chips on people's heads?
It sounds really bad.
Honestly, it's gonna turn into a competition. Lord T, just because, like, you know how everyone's always like, "What phone do you have?" You know. No, I'm not asking you that. I'm just saying people like
I kind of feel like that's kind of, in my opinion, it doesn't really happen much anymore. But that's just from my experience.
Okay.
That happened when like phones were a thing in like grade 4, but then I feel like no one really like made a competition about it.
But exactly, I feel like when it comes out, it's gonna be very people. It's like how people judge you on like your clothes or what you have or like, what your car is. Not that we have cars, but no. But I just feel like people are just gonna judge on just like what type of chip you have in your. And yeah, medical complication, that's a big problem. Also, another problem would be like just like if people could like if there's a chip in your head, people like can probably see your like hack it or like see your thoughts and like right now maybe looking at wavelengths on a screen won't tell us anything, but like if we have chips in our heads, people are gonna know more about how what certain wavelengths mean and how to decipher it. Like a lie detector test. You just shoot a chip in someone's brain and be like, "Are you lying?" No. Oh, they're lying.
So what's David doing with his mic now? Is he trying to?
I don't know. He's trying to figure something out.
So he's worried that it's like not the mic, not OBS, but the DAC.
Yeah, sending ads to your dreams. We're gonna get so many Raid Shadow Legend ads. Jeez, like.
Okay.
Sending ads to your dreams. We're gonna get so many Raid Shadow Legend ads. Jeez. But the evil zombie. Oh my God, David, if you can hear us, the evil zombie dolphin army have to have them in order to connect their minds to Mark sickle-headed zombie shark. It's been sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is a fun RPG game. Whoever has his river song would be so disappointed.
Yes, we can hear you, David.
Oh, we can hear you.
But you can't.
Wait, but here.
How's that?
Let me try muting myself and listen.
Okay, yeah. Wait, hang on. Let me try a test just on my own then. You can. How's that? In one ear. That sucks. Okay, yeah. Wait, hang on. Let me try a test just on my own then. Why only one ear?
It sounds very fuzzy.
Yeah. One ear. That sucks.
Like sort of like you're coming through like a radio thing on like like a plane or something. You're like, okay, go fly down on the left lane is open or whatever.
Yeah.
Like a plane or something. You're like, okay, go fly down on the left lane.
All right. Let me try a smaller cable again and see if that.
Also, if the stream volume's too loud, just turn your volume down for now because we'll try it. We can fix that after we figure out how to make David sound like he doesn't have like a
Form of bees.
yeah. You're having some cool adventure in your dream. Then right before the end of the boss battle, here finish this stream on. All
right, how's that sound?
Great Shadow Legends.
So you've got a microphone, but for some reason, how's that sound? It just sounds awful. So it must be a microphone, but for some reason, it's like one.
Plugging in.
It just sounds awful.
On Discord, you sound absolutely fine. Seriously.
It's like one.
Here, let me. I'm gonna.
It can't be anything wrong with the hardware. It's software.
Yeah, it has to be like soft. Here, let me. I'm gonna.
Can't be anything wrong with the hardware. It's software.
Yeah, it has to be like soft. Oh, so Bertley's only getting an echo. Oh yeah, someone suggested just restarting your computer. That would end this. Oh yeah, someone suggested just restarting your computer.
Okay.
That's true, but it's plugged into the computer, so maybe restarting it would help. It's not. That's true, but it's plugged into the computer, so maybe restarting it. Oh, you have no audio anymore.
Something up then.
Oh, you have no audio anymore. Wait, what? I have an idea. What if you know how before you had that whole box thing, you could still stream fine. So
How's that?
We just have to, because I think by now we're thinking the box is causing the problem. So what if you just do like the setup, run the stream on your computer, and then try and figure out.
Yeah, that's what I did before. That's what I did before. Well, I'm guessing this will just have to do for the time being, I'm afraid. That's
what I did before. Lower the gain.
That's what I did before.
Wait, I'm gonna listen to it.
I'm guessing this will just have to do for the time being, I'm afraid. So let's see how that sounds. All right, everyone else mute for a sec. And let's just hear that. So let's see how that sounds. That's a lot better, isn't it? All right, everyone else mute for a sec. So this is a very directional. So this is a very directional. Very nice mic. Very directional. Well, if I can set this up, that's fantastic. I mean, what's weird is, so I was going out through the headphone port on a USB mic, and that was not working. Well, if I can set this up. Because this I could just leave. I'll just set this up and leave it then. So I was going out through the headphone port on a USB mic, and that was not working. And the stream is from my Echo. There you go. So the sound quality is much better now. Okay, great. Yeah, the echo, I'm afraid, was just while I was monitoring my own stream. All right. Well, let me go find the stand for this. And oh. Is that the stand? No, that's not the stand. I have a stand for this, so let me set that up. You guys can unmute now. Noodles, how are you?
I just wanted to ask: is there any problem now that I am unmuted and talking?
There's no problem now. Why? What do you mean?
Okay, it's fine. Okay.
I think we're sounding okay now.
Oh, they're saying just duct tape the mic to your shirt.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. Is just like have it as a. Hello.
Or put it like in your like a pencil or something.
This is the ASMR that Cal always wanted. right? Isn't this the AS?
My volume is like really low, but yours is really high.
Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way I like it.
I don't know what I
Maybe.
have to do because
Oh, my mic is really high. There you go. So let me go
for
down.
me, I'm just
How's
using
that?
a computer mic.
All right, how's that now? How does everyone sound now? If I go up a little bit.
Is it
How's
better?
that? There we go. I do not want to hear your saliva move around in your mouth. Okay.
Much better, much better. Okay, that's good. Maybe I'll just talk a bit louder. Like, hello.
All right.
I have to drown out David's ASMR now. So
I feel
hello,
like
everyone.
I feel like I'm like an on location reporter now. It's like, hi there, Howard Hewlett here, covering the latest in audio disasters. Stargate actor David Hewlett was down today trying to stream because of a terrible audio issue that he had. But I think we've got it. I think we got it sorted. We love, what a palaver. No kidding. No kidding, huh? Lower a bit more, David. For me, you want me a little lower?
Yeah, so what they're saying is I'm more like a 3 and you're like 8.
I like that. All right, how's that?
So like maybe if you
But
lowered
you're
your volume
so
a bit and
funny,
raised our
you-
volume a bit.
It's so funny because your mic is like huge on mine. So I guess I'm getting a different feed.
It's so weird. Maybe it's something my problem or something. I don't know. Cause like I'm just using I literally am using the same thing that I always use. So I don't like I'm not streaming or anything crazy like that. So I don't know why. Oh
Yeah, well, this is what's so funny.
Sid says it's good now.
That sounds better now? Yeah, there's also a delay, so you go and change something, and then, of course, by the time I go, oh, that's not working, I go back again, it's like, oh, right. Let me just, okay, pardon the echo for a second, I'm just going to listen in. By the time I go, oh, that's not working, I go back again, it's like, oh, right.
Hello?
Let me just, okay, pardon the echo for a second, I'm just going to listen in. By the time I go, oh, that's not working, I go back again, it's like, oh.
Hello?
Pardon the echo for a second, I'm just going to listen in. Talk for a second there, Noodles.
Okay. Hello. Hello.
Talk for a
No,
second there,
Hello.
Noodles.
I don't know what to say. I'll read. Nightbot official website for the Tech
seems okay.
Bandits. HTTPS little dot thingy / the Tech Bandits.
All right, enough. You're good.
Is also on
Oh
YouTube.
my God. Yes, you're good. Thank you. Oh my God. Where's the off button? Okay, let's try that. All right, see how that is. And that is an awesome t-shirt, isn't it, Nathalis? Okay, oh my God. It sounds like too much gain on the mic for it being so close. All right, I can lower that. I can lower the gain even more. Check. How's that? Is that a little better for you?
Test. 1 2 1 2 1 2.
There you go.
Testing.
1 2 3 4 5. Testing. Symbolus. All right. Well, thank you for bearing with us. This is all the new studio setup thing. But what's kind of fun about it now is that now I can just cable it in and leave it, I think. Unless I have to move it.
Hal says if you don't do theater talking, it's fine.
I wouldn't cable in too much to the trash Mac.
No, I know.
Black magic.
You know what I'd like to cable it into? I'd like to cable it into a giant... I'd like to actually cable the trash Mac into a giant transformer and then just explode the freaking thing. I have never had so many problems with the computer as I have had with this ugly beast of a trash Mac. Let me show you. This is right now, this is my nemesis right here. Right there. I freaking hate that thing. It has been nothing but a pain in the ass. I am never buying. Sorry, Apple. I'm never buying another Apple again. Forget it. Done. PC.
But apples taste good.
I'll eat apples. Happily eat apples, but there's no frickin' way I'm buying another one.
Applesauce. Come on. Apple pie with apple pie.
Yeah, Cal. Now I need your sympathy, Cal. I don't need your sarcasm right now.
Fake surprise.
No Apple Club. Fake surprise. Boy, she can't even fake that surprise. No, it's James. The Macs are amazing at certain things, and other things they suck at. Any kind of like leading edge, any kind of like sort of like non sort of commercial stuff, they suck at it. Any kind of like app, like interesting new software or games or that kind of stuff. Anything that's not like basically paying the
Tea time.
30% to Apple is not is no good. Anyways,
It's tea time where polynomial is right now.
I love my laptops. The Mac laptops are fantastic, but their desktops are just giant pieces of shiitake mushrooms. That's what I'm saying. All right.
Mushrooms now? Why is there so much food involved here?
Sounds like he's hungry.
I know James jumps in to defend Apple every time I say something bad about it. Look, the reality is, I've been on Apple for years, and it's been fine. As soon as I start doing any of this kind of like podcasting stuff or any of the science stuff, like the truly, like, you know, the stuff like the gaming or any of that kind of stuff, the Macs are just like, and also the other thing is it's expense as well, right? What do you think, Lord Chunky?
Macs can't do gaming. They're very good at just anything that Apple wants you to do with them.
Exactly. As long as Apple wants you to do it. Hey, Golden Wolf is here. How are you, Golden Wolf?
Oh, hey, Golden Wolf.
I'm good, thanks. I just got back from school.
Oh, thank God. You missed all of my audio problems.
School?
So tell us about that, because you're back. Are you having to wear masks and all that kind of stuff?
Well, you have to wear masks in the corridors, and you have to use hand sanitizer like when you go in and out of lessons, and when you finish, you have to wipe down the desks and stuff.
Oh, you have to wipe down the desks. Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, the teachers like give you tissues and then like spray the desk with stuff, and then you have to wipe it. But when you're outside and stuff, you don't have to wear masks or in lessons.
Or in lessons. So you're sitting, and how many people are sitting in a room with you?
Like 22 people maybe.
Real, and so is there social distancing, or is that just your pod now? Like that's just who you're.
Well, you have like individual desks and they're spread apart. So.
But are you getting like 2 meters or 6 feet or whatever it is, or a meter?
Well, maybe a meter.
What, and how do you feel about it?
I think it's okay. I mean, I'm quite enjoying it, weirdly. I don't know.
What, you're enjoying being back at school, or?
Yeah, and also because now, I've like picked the subjects that I want to do.
Oh, what are you going to do? What did you pick?
Well, so the subjects you have to do are English, maths, chemistry, biology, physics.
Wow, okay.
French, and then I picked German as another language.
Very good. Das ist gut. Das ist very good. Yeah.
And then I also picked art and geography.
Oh,
so,
art and geography. Exactly, Commander Cosmo. So why'd you? Okay. So art. Are you doing like? Is it like art history, or is it actually you get to do art stuff?
It's actual art.
Nice. So you actually get to get your hands dirty, and what kind of stuff? What kind of art are you doing?
Well, we had our first lesson today, and it was just kind of still like sketching.
Oh, cool.
Ooh,
but
fun.
A lot of my friends are in my class, so it was quite fun.
Right. So you get nothing done.
Oh,
well,
thanks.
I did finish my drawing, but yeah.
Thank you, Araxos. Very kind of you. Appreciate it.
I'm really sorry. I have to go now because I actually have a school Zoom call right now.
Yeah, Baz has to go and
I did not know, and
yeah, Baz has to go, and they're doing like a because he starts next week, so he's got to go and do that. You can't do both streams at the same time, Baz?
No, it's so hilarious if you're
Keep
like,
us posted.
Baz, it'd be hilarious if you're like unmuted and then it's like, and you say a joke on stream and they're like, "What are you talking about?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm just nothing."
Yeah, we're not. We're totally just we're just talking about the protocols in London. Golden Wolf, I went back to work this week, right? So I started on set again. I've had to have 2 COVID tests already. They gave me Disney gave me like I was like, a gift bag. Like normally you get like a gift bag, you get like cookies and like like a bottle of wine or something. I got a bag of masks and hand sanitizers. Because you're only allowed to wear their masks. They have special masks that they want you to wear.
David, I'll Uber eat you some donuts right now if you want.
You're gonna order me donuts right now?
I want donuts too, so that would work perfect.
I've just had breakfast. I was very good. I actually managed to get some breakfast in.
Yeah, I woke up like at 10-ish.
Oh my God, I wish. I had Huzzah licking my face at 6 a.m. again.
Yeah, basically what happened is I woke up for my alarm at 7 because I have an alarm, and I wanted to have a shower, but I think my dad was having a shower or something, so I was waiting, and I sort of just fell asleep
Again, I wish.
again, and then I woke up at like 9:58 or something, and I'm like, I still have to have a shower.
So what time do you have to be at school now, Golden Wolf? What time are you supposed to be there?
Well, the lesson, like your group you have to go to at the start for registration is at 8:15.
Right.
But then, now because of COVID and stuff, and they don't want you just lingering around the corridors, you can only actually go to the building at 8:10.
Huh.
So,
Are they staggering the people? Like, are they staggering the grades and stuff, or the forms? So they don't all show up at the same time?
You have to queue up, and they let you go in, and you also have your own specific entrance to the school.
Right, right. So each grade has their own way into the school.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, not grade. You guys use forms. I get very confused by that.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
But what is?
We say
One-
year
Yeah.
1, year 2, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have forms instead of grades, which is weird because like our educational system is entirely based on the British system, right? So I'm surprised that we don't have the same thing. But then what is COVID like in England right now? Is
I
it?
know. Zoom call name.
Why is Baz screaming into this microphone?
Oh, sorry.
It's wrong meeting, Baz.
Zoom call name.
You're in the wrong meeting, Baz. If he starts calling me sir, I know he's in the wrong meeting. So COVID in the UK right now, what's it like? Are you still sort of partially locked down, or what's the?
Well, there's not like that much restrictions. We still have to face masks in shops.
You're breaking up a
A
bit.
restaurant or a pub or something.
Hmm. Sorry, run that by me again. You broke up a bit there.
Yeah, your audio, it sort of
Oh.
sped up at one
Can you
point.
hear me now?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're fine
Okay.
now.
So you can go to shops and things if you wear a mask.
Right.
To social distance, and then you can go to restaurants and pubs as well.
You can go to pubs?
Yeah.
Really?
Wait, what grade are you in?
Well, that's it. That's the form grade thing.
Well,
I mean, what form are you?
in the UK? I'm in year 10.
Wow.
So year 10 is what is that equivalent? Well, okay, how old are you then?
I'm turning 15 in November.
Turning 15. Okay, so it's almost like grade 10 then.
Yeah.
That was Wi-Fi. Yes, Circe does.
I don't know.
There's a couple of people talking about stuff that that I noticed here. Like Nala was saying that they lost their job in June for the first time, unemployed in 20
Sorry,
years. Oh, that sucks. I mean, was it? And this is directly related to COVID. Nala, is that what happened? And Cooper's asking, are the tests regular on set? Yeah, I'm supposed to do 2 tests a week on each set. So
Except I gave him COVID yesterday, so.
Yeah, except we went red alert because she took her mask off. But I think it's possible I might be doing 4 tests a week if they both make me do the testing, which would just be insane. Because it doesn't.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of silly because you only test you for that minute, right? The fact that I had to take an Uber to go to the test, so I could have caught it on that. That wouldn't show up. I could have caught it in the Uber on the way home or at the set where I'm being tested. It just seems silly to me.
Okay, so Technique says plus 322 cases for Canada today and 148 for Ontario today.
So 148 is up a bit. We were under 100 for a while there, and then 1940 for the UK. But the populations, you got to consider the populations too. There's a lot more people in the UK, right? I believe. I could be wrong. People in the UK are being asked to travel
That's
more.
over swabbing.
death by overswallow. Yeah, it's exactly. I'm gonna have like, do you have cold symptoms? I'm like, yeah, because people have been shoving things up my nose every day.
I know 322 for Canada. Okay, one thing, Canada is a big country, but like I'm pretty sure like California has like almost the same population as we do.
Oh, that's interesting. So James is saying
like,
it's.
Here, I'll search it up.
James is saying that it's. Hang on a sec, Noodles. James is saying that it's surveillance. So you will almost certainly test positive prior to symptoms, so they can grab it before you start spreading it to people, which would be great. No, I totally get it. It's what I find frustrating is because I'm on 2 sets, they won't share their results with each other. So or they won't honor the other person's results. I'm working on them. I think I might be able to change that because Disney has their own testing thing, and they have I can add a little website I can log into it. It could say, oh, here's your cleared certificate type thing. So I might be able to walk onto the other set and go, here, look, and they'll be okay with that. But it's one of those things that you never know. It's a lot of people trying different things out all the time. So, but it doesn't. It sounds like London is not as worried about it as we are right now. You guys have been through the worst already. Is that the thought? Because you had it pretty bad for a while there, right?
Yeah, we did.
And is this when you were going to go back to school anyways, or have they pushed it or anything?
Yeah, this is when we would have gone back to school, even if there wasn't coronavirus.
Okay, right. So basically you're back on schedule again now.
Yeah.
So question. Well, we should ask Golden Wolf what her thoughts are on. Have you seen this? Have you seen this Elon Musk Neuralink thing?
No.
So Elon Musk
is crazy.
Is implanting. He's created. Well, he hasn't created, but he's bought a company that uses a robot surgeon to cut a I would say loony size. You would probably say I don't know 10 pence sized hole in your skull, and then it puts these tiny quarter of the width of a human hair. So each one of them, you could do 4 of them would add up to 1 strand of human hair. Implant it into the brain deep enough to stimulate and to listen to brain activity. And
what?
Yeah. And it's 1,000 of these little things, and you can also get as many of these things as you want, these Neuralinks as you want. So you could have like 10 Neuralinks in your head, all with 1,000 little connections on it, and they can read and write to your brain.
You know why? I just don't like it. Just the thought of something putting like a chip in my head.
What's the point of it? Well, okay, if I'm going to play devil's advocate, because I'm not sure that I would want, I'm not sure if I'd want Elon Musk putting things in my head, but at the same time, I feel like the possibility of it being used to fix, imagine if you had like chronic pain. So like my friend Barnacles, Barnacles has terrible back pain, like to the point where he can't even sit in his chair and do his live stream because it hurts so much. Imagine if you could have one of these things and you open an app and you go, okay, I want to just stop the pain to my back. There, press a button, bang. Your brain automatically blocks that signal. So you're no longer feeling pain.
It's not that it can't be good. I'm just saying, for me, where I don't have issues like that, for people that have pain or even like
or mental health issues. What about depression?
Or mental health issues, just to understand
how it works.
How people's brains work differently.
So that's a great point, actually. Like understanding how the brain works would be a big part of this. Yeah.
But for me, that doesn't have anything particularly wrong for me, except my feet get overheated sometimes, and it sucks.
There you go. You could have a special cooling feature on your feet.
Trust me, I'm fine. I just stick them in the bathtub and put some cold water on them.
So you get hot feet.
Just don't wear heavy.
But again, that's
honestly just don't wear. And it's weird. It's not that bad though. But like I'm saying, I don't have anything that would make me feel like I would want a chip in my head.
Yet, because the other
sleep.
My thing.
It helps you sleep.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah, you could. So technically, you could have, again, the app, the Neuralink app, could hit all the right parts of your brain to say, oh, we're going to sleep now, and then shut you down like that.
At what point are we just cyborgs, though? At what point at this chip thing, or are we just cyborgs?
Well, at that point, you're just a cyborg. I think any cross between human technology, you'd be a cyborg, but like not by much.
Hey, but like Noodles,
Even the
you have
pacemakers are cyborgs.
and Noodles, you have metal on your teeth. Like,
Yeah,
but
on my teeth. They're not actually like in my body though.
but well, they are. They're in your mouth. They're like
Yeah.
attached to the
In your teeth part of your body, or like in your body?
You know what I mean? Like,
I
so
guess that.
I guess what
But
I'm saying is like a couple hundred.
I mean, my metal teeth aren't. My braces aren't controlling my brain and I can push a button that makes them tell me when I can sleep.
But I bet you there was a time when people would have said, "Wait a second, you are born with the teeth you've got. You can't go in there and start moving your teeth around. That's ridiculous." You know what I mean?
I know, but I just with people hacking stuff and
Security is a huge issue. Security is an amazingly good issue.
Normiel, I'm so bad at saying that name. How are those chips powered? That's a really good question.
Yeah, so they have battery sources that are charged remotely. So basically, it's like when you go to sleep, you've got an Apple wireless charger stuck to your head or around your head somewhere.
Why? That's even worse.
There's definitely things to figure out.
That's even worse.
Ruby K says it's not enough to fry things. How often do people replace their phones because lightning strike? Look, there's definitely things.
Radiation cancer.
Why no?
I don't think. Well, I think it's using Bluetooth technology as well. So there's definitely security things to consider. But
I just don't like the idea that you can get hacked and someone can give you Raid Shadow Legends ads or like annoying songs or just beeping noises. Oh.
Or what if your audio is bad? What if your audio is bad?
Your audio is back.
What if it make you deaf and blind and unable to use your body?
Could you imagine if you didn't? What if you didn't pay your bill for your Neuralink?
Oh my god.
Do they?
Subscription service?
They just be like, pay your bill.
Could you imagine? Like it could just turn off certain features. I mean, I guess. Look, here's the thing. I one of the things that he talked about, which I thought was really interesting, and someone's just actually mentioned here, Nathalis was just saying, dementia. Like as you get older, there are aches, there are pains, there are things that don't work as well. It's possible we might need these to stimulate them.
It can be good.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, this is just going on our way to making everyone immortal and space travel. But
well,
another issue is that if like you have this thing and you can like say like you're in a bad mood, you could just like go on this app and like make you happy or something. Like you would become so reliant on it that then it could. Like,
are you saying you can?
Hang on, Noodles. Let her finish for a second.
So if people become so reliant on it, then it can easily be used against you.
Yeah, like you mean like you can on your app you can get it to release dopamine or something.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the sort of thing that they'd be looking to do, right? So so then the question I guess would be then would we not be allowed to control our own?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's the thing that's like medical professionals have to do that.
Right, but then we've seen what medical professionals do. Like, there's
people to control you that much.
It's really interesting, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot of things to consider.
What about people that are like suicidal? Like, would they get this implanted and just have an app that can literally just shut down their brain?
What about thought crimes? When it realizes that you are escalating to the point where you might actually hurt someone, it automatically adjusts your behavior. There's definitely some really interesting things that could happen here. But I think one of the things that I think is important to mention here as well is that Neuralink aren't the only people doing this. Like there are a number of other universities and professionals and people who've been doing this kind of stuff without all of this sort of like, the dog and pony show thing. Like Elon Musk, if nothing else, is an amazing showman. So he loves putting on these events. He's obviously interested in it. I thought the whole idea that they could monitor a pig's brain and work out where each one of the limbs were based on the signals that it got from the pig, without looking at the pig's legs, it could tell you where the legs were. Isn't that wild? So
another thing that's quite similar is I saw something about this book where the story in it was that somehow the dystopian book, but it was where they could monitor like your mental state or whatever, and how like law-abiding citizen you are and things like that.
Hmm.
And they give you like a rating of like A to Z, and then like it's kind of dark, but like they would kill the people that were like at the bottom of the scale.
Ha.
Oh.
And
So,
that,
I guess
don't know,
if
it
it's
kind of creeped me.
yeah, so that's
It's a bit weird.
what is it called? Eugenics. So that's eugenics, where they say like, oh, look at this. This is these brains aren't functioning properly. These are people who are not. What do they say? It's not a life not worth living. And unfortunately, what do I say? Not unfortunately. You know, we learned a big lesson with that in obviously the Second World War with Hitler's
Yeah.
Nazi Party deciding who should live and who should die based on their idea of this ideal human, right? So eugenics. Eugenics used to exist in the States as well, right? It used to exist in North America, I think in England as well. There was definitely a belief that there were some people who just, oh, you don't want those people alive. They're miserable. So our perception.
just because someone's sad doesn't mean they're not like some people aren't just because they're sad doesn't mean they don't deserve to get help or like people with anxiety that take medication so they're not anxious all the time. People. So just it's like taking someone's worst qualities and saying, "Well, we can't fix them. They're dead now." You
Yeah.
can. Like people have anger, like people can have like anger management issues. And imagine instead of just being like, "Okay, here we're going to work on that." Right?
Mm.
No, they just go, "Oh, you have anger issues, you can't deal with people. That's your problem. You're dead now." That's you can't do that.
Well, we do that now, though, don't we? I mean, like people end up in jail because they don't. There's a lot of people with mental health issues in jail, right?
But that's still another problem. But
So imagine if you could treat those problems. I feel.
exactly.
That's what jail's for mostly in Europe. Europe, they treat the problems. In the U.S., jail is a punishment.
Well, yeah, and there's that whole, what do they call it?
I feel like
The
most of it
the school to jail pipeline. So basically, a lot of Black Americans, kids, because of the lack of funding for the schools and access to proper education and stuff and resources, will end up going straight from high school into jail. And there's a whole system of people making money off this, basically this flow of people, usually sort of low income families and stuff that are basically just being funneled straight into the criminal justice system. Justice being a very sort of, I should put justice in quotes on that stuff, because you know they're not getting their mental health treated. They're not getting the education they need to get a good job.
Yeah.
So I think that, but I think what's interesting here is that I think what we've stumbled onto here, which is kind of interesting, is that this is technology that could create a utopian society, correct? I mean, potentially, you could fix all of the problems with people's brains with this.
This is a technology that could fix everything, but this is also a technology that could make everything crash and burn. Exactly.
And what's going to decide that? Do you think?
The problem is there's so many people that are just insane and like it's not even they don't even have like there's people that have mental health issues, right? But there's also just people that are just sort of crazy. Like,
well, but are those not mental health issues though that cause that? I mean, what if we discover that it is a mental health issue that causes people to kill other people? That this isn't.
That is definitely a mental health issue. I don't think that's a question. I think that's a mental health issue.
So you think that people kill people because there's something in their brain that says to them that this is the right thing to do, or that they can't control themselves,
Well, I don't know if it's always that, but I mean like I don't know.
Sorry, Wrangler. There's a lot of stuff in the chat. It's hard to get to everybody.
How about this? It's not necessarily if you kill someone. I think it can be a mental health issue, past traumas, but it can also be what's going on. Like in the military, yeah, you could say that, but you could also say that you have to have a certain mindset to go and commit a crime. I think that is fair.
Well, and I think you have to have. I think you could also, but can you not be raised with that mindset? I mean, could that not be sort of like
Exactly, and
there's nature
maybe
and
that's
nurture
not,
here, right?
and maybe that's not a mental health issue. I think that's more of just where you are issue. But at the same time, like I don't know how to pronounce the name, but Nethelus.
Mm-hmm.
They said they went to a awful city in London and they never committed a crime. Exactly. Just because you were raised, just because like that. Not what I'm saying is not everyone. There's so many conditions and there's so many different
Well, and everyone is a unique
reasons.
case too. I think
Yeah,
that's the no one
maybe we
lives
all
exactly
have
the same.
mental health issues. Maybe the question. You know what? I have a question though.
Mm.
The term normal doesn't make sense. No one's normal. So does that mean there's one normal person in the world?
Well, who's deciding it? The normal person would be the person, I guess, who's deciding who's normal. I mean, that's
Who's
why
the normal person?
I love the idea that we've gone from a mental health issue from a medical perspective on this stuff that has said like, oh, there's this condition or this condition or this condition, and we're now realizing that there's like a whole spectrum to this stuff. That everybody has a basically like a rainbow of different parts of
It's not
way
black
their
and
brains
white.
work. Yeah.
And someone said the other day, I forget, not like one of my friends said that there's no such thing as being yourself. You're like society like shapes who you are. And I said to her, yes, exactly. That's what yourself is.
Mm.
You get shape. You can, but like I feel like that's not necessarily always true though.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I mean I think look, I think it could be a combination. I mean, like I
And then
think
Nightbot says, "Here's David."
there are I think there are people who I mean I think who's it just said this so Wrangler was just saying that something changes in their perception of what is right and wrong. So I think if you don't understand right and wrong, there's an empathy issue. Maybe what I love about the idea of being able to implant these things is to understand how the brain works. Because I feel like once we understand how the brain works, well, we may not like what we understand, if that makes sense. Because I think we all have a sense of
James
who we
Gurney's
are.
the one normal. It has been decided.
Yeah, James is the normal one. James, are you like you get asked basically? Are you James normal or are you like normal?
Or like
James is
yeah, like
in his own little
nature
world
and
of normal.
nurture. I read this book that was basically sort of a bit very sort of sci-fi. It was still on Earth, so basically what it was is it was the scientists had created this perfect sort of society in a way. So
Mm,
not like they created this separate little community
right.
and they got DNA from criminal masterminds
Ooh.
and made like 10, 15 kids with it. And then they got people to basically act as their parents.
Mm.
And then they got a few families that were actually had kids and they lived in the society where basically like everything was perfect. There was no war, there was no problems. Like the British Tea Party, for example, was like the British and the that whole thing was like I don't know much
What, the
about it, but
Boston Tea
like the
Party?
British
The Boston?
Boston Tea Party.
Yeah.
Yeah, but basically
When
it
we
was like
dumped all the British tea in the bay.
and instead it was actually it was actually them having like in this sort of community it was actually them having a tea party and like discussing things in a civilized manner. So basically the story was about like these five kids that basically figure out that like through a bunch of different things they figure out that um actually the world isn't perfect and they like the company that makes the whole thing is this company makes like pylons that's like the big factory they have in their city.
Mm.
So they break into it and they find they don't actually make like traffic cones and stuff or like the Wi-Fi there, like the Wi-Fi connection there, like if you they went beside it and they actually looked up things and they could get the Wi-Fi connection, they found all this stuff. So they basically leave the society and these people come after them basically because well, the experiment, what it was is that the experiment was a proposed idea, but wasn't actually supposed to happen.
Right.
So the scientists did it anyways. So they couldn't let the kids get out because they would expose them and go to jail, basically. And I thought it was interesting that the reason they couldn't do the experiment because they thought it was inhumane to take like these DNA things from people and basically turn them into these kids and have them lied to their life. They thought that was just mean and not right.
But
So it's just interesting. It's interesting.
I mean, that's.
Guys,
Hey,
Hi,
are you
Baz.
back, Baz?
how was that was everything.
How was it? How was your new school meeting?
It was good. It was good.
What did they talk about?
Mainly just like what's like the safe protocol and how we have to
Wash
go on
your
this
hands.
Remind app that like apparently tells you about like homework and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's like a remind. I promise I listened,
Reminder?
okay? But it's a little
Reminder?
it was a little confusing.
What the app itself is confusing?
Yeah, and about we asked about like lunch and stuff. So apparently like it just the whole class is just having lunch.
Together.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, okay. And then apparently later on they might get food places from around the distillery.
Oh, so you can actually.
Food places from around the school.
Right. Baz goes
So
to school
that-
in a distillery. It's amazing.
So that they so
So you're
we
not
don't
just.
have to. Yeah.
So you don't just have to bring it. So I don't have to make sandwiches every day, maybe.
No, yeah.
Oh, that'd
and
be
you're
cool.
not allowed to use the microwave.
Why not?
COVID protocols? Who wants to be touching a microwave with someone food
So
in it?
wipe it off. How hard is that?
Oh, sorry. I deafened myself by accident. Please continue.
What do you mean? What do you?
But there's Bertley said overall anything that removes the need for us to develop empathy for others will be negative for society. That's actually a really good point.
I mean, I think that what we've got into here is the idea that any kind of utopia. Oh, sorry, Baz. I should let you know what we're talking about. So basically, we're talking about once you've got these things in your brain, once we've figured out how the brain works, what kind of limits do we need to put into place to stop people from, changing our behavior to fit someone else's idea of normal? At what point do you go? At what point are you allowed to shut down someone's response to anger for fear that it might result in someone getting hurt? And also I think the other thing that I think people struggle with is that we've always grown up with the idea that we are who we are, right? That we are who we are. We're responsible for what we do. We're responsible for our actions, our beliefs, all that kind of stuff. The idea that we suddenly are in a world where we go, wait a second, something in our brain could change the way we feel or think about something. That is a really hard thing to get your head around, so to speak, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the thing I'm most excited about is the potential for what we could learn about how the brain works from this, and also what we can do to help people who have sort of, maybe I should say, physical issues with the brain that don't allow them to move as they should or as they want to. Well, wait, that's another interesting thing. Could it not be used to enhance people as well? Could I be smarter because I've got a chip in my head?
Exactly.
It wouldn't take much to make me
here's an
smarter.
interesting thing. When
I just
like-
feel like that could completely get rid of the idea of school.
Yeah.
Because when you're young, hear me out. When you're young, you get implanted with a chip that teaches you everything up to the age of 18. From there, you're able to learn whatever you want, but the chip doesn't exactly tell you what you have to learn unless you want it to.
It's the Matrix.
It basically tells you everything that it learns. It like injects your brain with every single thing that it needs to know for a life, for like what you learn in school up to the age of 18.
Right.
And then basically you could just work for your whole life pretty much.
Why
But
stop at 18? Why not just have access to everything?
What have I
A bag
walked
of
into?
chips.
Oh,
We're talking about head
bag of chips is like, what the hell am I talking about?
Okay,
Wait,
here's
your mic,
interesting.
your headset is working?
No, I'm on my phone.
You know,
Okay, yeah.
Bag of
I'm
Chips has a
Googling it.
brand new PC, you know. He's got a
Yes,
brand new
we
PC.
were playing Among Us today.
Here's an interesting thing. So when I was like a few years ago, I had this idea to my dad that I said, if we all got chips in our head, and it's sort of funny how spookily I thought of this, is if we all had chips in our head that basically taught us everything we needed to know, school would just be like teaching people how to empathize towards each other.
School would just be about teaching you how to empathize. I think that's.
Or like how to help community and how to do stuff like that.
I mean, but isn't school doing that anyways? I mean, isn't that kind of what's
Yeah,
happening
but
already?
I mean, like,
People
you
empathy.
can focus more on that besides worrying about math.
Besides worrying about me, I see. Okay. Well, there's definitely stuff. I feel like there's definitely stuff that we're realizing now doesn't need to be memorized. Like that, there's no point in memorizing certain things because we have access to tools that could bring it up much faster than us trying to remember it. You know that maybe
School's
our
a place to keep kids alive while parents are at work.
yeah, basically to some extent. I
Let's
mean,
not pretend it's anything else.
what's weird to me is like I feel like if you've got something in your brain that can, if it's in the right place, couldn't it? It could make you move. You could become a puppet, basically, couldn't you? Because if everything's, if all of the signals are coming from the brain, then technically, if you've got a chip in your brain, you've got access to all of those things.
Excuse me, James Gurney. Are you suggesting that we are monsters?
He's a jailed for child monsters. Well, I don't think he's suggesting anything. I think he's just stating the fact, isn't he? Why do you think we were called the tech terrorists to start? It's an open secret that schools is less about making kids learn and more about turning monsters into humans. It's about socializing kids to some extent. There's certainly some sort of like social norms that need to be learned in some cases. I guess the schooling thing is interesting though, Baz. You're saying, I mean, Elon Musk referred to this thing as a Fitbit in your brain, but he went on to say that this was a way of your brain directly communicating with artificial intelligence. So potentially,
I just think it's so much of it would be revolutionary to have one, and it should be free. They should be easy to use. Because the world would be a better place with them.
Well, it's going to be a Fitbit in your brain. They're very basic right now. So
I
are you
think
thinking
you're
like
covering
in
your
20 years down the
microphone.
line? Or, because like,
Chunky.
you guys are looking on what?
I think you were covering your microphone.
Oh. Yeah, I have these weird headphones. I'm not sure what the mic is on them.
no, that's better. You're closer down.
That's better.
But like, unless you're thinking like 20 years down the line. Right now, it probably is really just...
Oh, no. I don't think any time now.
You're not getting one now.
No. I'll get one, but in a couple of years.
No.
Not in your brain.
Oh my god.
But in a couple of years, definitely.
But this is like so Sid says when I don't know when they were a kid, they were from grade 1, they were put because they had behavioral problems and was removed from other students. So I have a question. Would that actually now that I think about it, does that actually improve anything? Because for what I'm getting from Sid is that it didn't really help you much to be separated from other people.
Well,
unless I'm wrong.
And I think nowadays they're talking about one of the big things they're trying to do is integrate people with disabilities and developmental disabilities into
Can I say something?
regular classrooms, right?
Nick said, well, who would be better to get rid of for history's sakes? I don't think you should get rid of history. I think that's a big no-no. Because I think someone else, because I think if we didn't learn from history, then someone else would, like, if there was no Hitler.
What Hitler are you talking about?
Okay, wait, guys. Sorry, I didn't know my thing was on mute. I was talking the entire time.
Oh no.
But yeah, so basically, I think that without mistakes, how is the world gonna get better?
Right.
And
Exactly.
someone putting, I find it like if you can't have a childhood and you just immediately learn everything, then you're not a person. You're just a robot.
You can have
Yeah,
more.
that's true.
But you can have more of a childhood. Who wants to waste their time learning stuff? Okay, I don't know about you guys. I hate school. It's a waste of time. I could be doing whatever I want. I could be doing yeah, sure, gaming. But it's just, school is a waste of childhood.
That's my son.
Think that when you have a chip in your brain that teaches you everything that you need to know.
Your brain and going to school prevents you from having to pay taxes and have a job. So I'm fine with it, okay?
Next thing you know, he's gonna come up with a thing like the dog brain chip. Immediately train your dog to talk.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that. He's already put it in pigs, right?
Oh, great! Then it could tell me if it needs to pee. Even better.
Even better. I don't. But the problem is, Hazard doesn't know when she has to pee. Poor Hazard.
No,
She does. So she's being. So that's.
Now?
Yeah, the problem is solved. She's on estrogen, and which is basically just female hormones, and it's solved the problem in 2 days. We've not had an accident since.
Polite Connect said, "Wait till you start learning." Actually, I don't mind school. Like, there's certainly times when I don't like it, but at the same time, I love being in school with my friends. And
I actually don't like school on a daily basis.
But you
I
like
think if you put a chip in your brain that did all of what you just said, I think there'd be no difference from a human and a robot.
Huh.
Exactly.
But who needs humans?
But what if we? So wait a
The ones
sec.
that made all the mistakes. What about robots? They could do everything for this world. They could fix everything.
Well, what
They
if?
could ruin everything.
Well, I think that's our
But
job, isn't
how?
it?
They could fix it so much that it would die.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Hey, may I interject?
Yeah, please, bag of
Yeah.
chips, get in here.
According to an apparent time travel from the year 3046, AI takes over the world, and now there's the post-apocalyptic world
Great.
for over a
Let
century.
the robots have it. Let the robots have it.
Honestly, I feel like
They can do whatever they want with it because they are smarter, more efficient, stronger. They can do everything that a human can do.
But we programmed them.
Much better.
But here's
made
the
the
problem is,
robots.
yeah, we made them though. So aren't they going to make the same mistakes that we do?
Saying that they stopped people littering into the water. How would catfish eat?
Well, but catfish ate before we started dumping crap in the river,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but right now, well, they've evolved from that.
Mm.
Right now,
Well, I guess
they wouldn't like.
gonna die then. Suck it up, catfish. I'm kidding, but
Yeah.
we could.
Honestly.
No, it's an interesting point though, because I think some species have like dogs. Well, dogs can't go back to the wild. They'd never survive in the wild. They know what they're doing.
Except for the wild dogs.
The wild dogs would probably be fine. But it's an interesting point though that some of our environment has learned to work within sort of all the polluted systems that we're doing.
I think what we have to do is, like some things have learned to work with humans, and I think we just have to learn to work with them. So stop burning down trees.
I think, the interesting thing here that Baz said here was that Baz was saying that he's like, why don't we all just get the chips so that we can all have all the information available instantly? And I love that idea, except that who is in control of those chips? Like right now we've got a problem. You think Baz?
He's gonna take over the world.
Well, Baz, if Baz gets to put them all in.
Me.
But here's
if I get my hands on the chips, no one's gonna be able to think. I'll controlling everyone left, right. But to do the good stuff. Well, actually, now that I think of it, good stuff depends on how I perceive it as.
Well,
I just muted Baz's volume for a second because I just need to think, process all that he's just said. Okay, I'm putting you back.
Here's a question for you. So right now, one of the big discussions that's happening, certainly in the States and around Europe and such, is the power of Facebook or Google. All this information that they have over us, that they're basically able to manipulate us in some cases, because we want them to, but in other cases in ways that we don't even know they're doing. So the problem I see is if, like Baz, you say, I want to get an education. So my education, back when I was a kid, was definitely sort of a more of a not certainly was definitely were the lies or the stories told by the winners. So basically,
Exactly.
By the wieners.
by the wieners, exactly. So I learned that we showed up here and were sort of and we sort of helped out these poor indigenous people who were like, for God's sake, they were living in tents. You know,
Can I say something?
and let me finish one sec. So and that we inadvertently brought the smallpox that inadvertently killed a bunch of them. I'm now learning that was just a nice way of saying we came in here and we pretended that we discovered a country that was already being discovered, and we destroyed the indigenous people who lived here. So,
Could I say something?
yes.
I think that the first guy, John A. McDonald, I think he isn't the one that we should be mad at. I think all the people, because I think he actually thought he was helping people.
Yeah, but just because you think you're helping people,
I'm not saying what he did was right. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying I think the people after him that realized what they were doing was wrong but did it anyways are the people we should be mad at.
But should we celebrate people who? Oh, this is coming to a whole different thing now, isn't it?
We should not celebrate people. We should just acknowledge that we just have. Whenever we're thinking about what's happening, we have to think about what time they lived in. I'm never saying anything that anyone did was right. I'm just saying you have to think in the context of what happened.
But does that excuse?
That doesn't excuse what they did.
Them. I never said it excuses them. I'm just saying, in order to,
did they have a reason to do it?
I'm just saying, in order to understand the situation.
Absolutely, you have to consider the time that they lived in.
Consider what was happening.
Okay, but at the same time, that doesn't.
You can't make. But I don't think you could. I just don't know if you could really do that because, like, you can't say, "Oh, it's fine" because it was in the
I never said
60s.
It's fine. I'm saying that we acknowledge it's a mistake, and instead of erasing these people from history, we think of the context and think, "Wait, how would have this worked?" And also, with that situation, I'm just saying he shouldn't be the only person playing the blame. There's tons of.
But by that thinking, then you think we should remove like statues of him because he's
no.
But we realize now that. But we realize
celebrating him. That is making him open to the world.
That's not celebrating him. It's acknowledging his existence. It's acknowledging the fact that we made a mistake.
He did something horrible.
Exactly. But people seeing who it is and asking their parents, who is that? And then telling them he was a bad person.
Them rising up.
I thought Cal had a great suggestion the last time this came up. She said, what if why don't we put them in a museum? Because that's where they belong, right?
Exactly.
Like
that's a good idea.
But then why should, like, for example, someone who's, but from my perspective, I go like, okay, you know, if I am related to somebody who has grown up with all of the repercussions of someone like that's decisions, like all of the broken treaties with the indigenous people and First Nations. I mean, all of the treatment of different races other than white or European white at the time.
It's incredibly stupid and just a horrible thing.
Well, exactly. So why should I now, today, have to walk by that statue and go like, why does he get a statue? Why the hell has he got a statue? All he's done is basically make.
I think you're right. You shouldn't put like a statue in the middle of an important building, for example. But putting these statues in museums, what I'm saying is you should not destroy him from the world.
Yeah, you don't want to pretend they didn't exist because then you can't learn from them. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay,
like,
that makes sense.
Like
Baz, do you agree? Does that make more sense to you?
Yeah.
Like, for example, if Hitler didn't come along, I almost bet you that someone else would have, and maybe they would have been worse. So I think instead of removing these people from history,
I think that's the kind of conjecture. That's very difficult conjecture to make, though, right? I mean, it's like
that is something difficult to say.
Yeah, because it's like the fact of the matter is there are people who have done there are people who continue to do disgusting things and destroy and kill and target all sorts of people.
But if Hitler had learned from history, he might have won the war. Exactly what Cal said.
Exactly.
I agree
Ha.
with her.
This is the funny thing isn't it? Because one of the reasons why he lost was he underestimated Russia, right? The Russians and the Russian winter, had he looked at history, he would have realized that I think it was Napoleon who had exactly the same issues. In fact, numerous other would-be world conquerors had the same issue. So I think you can absolutely learn from history, or you can continue to make the same mistakes. So
Exactly. And I think what we have to do is just make sure we don't repeat the mistakes, but also make sure we don't get rid of those people so we remember not to repeat them.
Well, Sid the Jerk makes a really good point here. As he says, okay, so if Hitler had one of our imaginary Neuralink chips in his head, then and would have been shut down before he had a chance to start inciting the kind of hate and manipulation that, and then of course obviously deaths that he
Well,
did.
like you said, people are repeating the same thing that's happening now. So
It's a really interesting thing. Look, there's like an age-old kind of like debate that like if you could go back in time and kill Hitler when he was a baby, would you do it?
no,
Yeah.
I'm Jewish.
Right.
you are.
Yeah. Well, like I'm like 25%.
Yeah.
But still, like
But it's an interesting question, though, isn't it? Because at that point, he hasn't done anything wrong, but you know he's going to. Like it's almost like a thought puzzle, because the reality is we can't do that. So it's in my mind, I always go like, well, it's a bit silly to be worrying about these things when you can't, when they're just not. It's just impossible. But it's an interesting kind of issue going forward, though, because when you truly understand how the brain works, what if you could then compare like a newborn's brain to the newborn brain of someone who then went on and killed millions of people, and you see a direct correlation between the brain of this newborn and the brain of a newborn who then went on to become a type of Hitler.
But if you kill Hitler as a baby, I don't think that's like maybe that solves one problem, but there's still going to be hate for those people because there's still people that followed Hitler.
Well, yes, and I think something that we forget, in all of our retellings of the Second World War is that, a lot of Jews died because of anti-Semitism around the world. America was anti-Semitic. Europe, England, nobody liked the Jews. We were terribly anti-Semitic. It was a terribly anti-Semitic time of.
Hitler was the one that took it to an extreme.
And he took that underlying sense of anti-Semitism and turned it into a hate that was capable of killing people. And I think that's why I want to know how brains work, because I worry that. Like I see people arguing on social media now.
And also, with the chips in your head, you could never do something wrong again.
So the jerk says you can't.
Now you're just sounding like you already have a chip in your head and you're pumping out information from.
No, you could never, depending on who you're talking about. If you go up and you make a scientist who depending on, yeah. It could be a saving grace.
Well,
Or it could be the thing that destroys us all.
Well, and that's.
I take that chance because we're all already dead, pretty much.
If we
In
could.
like 1,000 years, if we don't solve this pollution, we're already dead. So why not take the chance? Let some people take over our brains. Let them do whatever they want with it. If they help our world, that's fine with me. If they ruin it, that's also fine because we've already ruined it. I just feel like I'd rather take that chance.
Oh my God!
I'm pretty sure that I feel like what's his name? Elon Musk is a Republican.
Is he?
I feel like he
I
is.
still don't understand the American voting system, so I don't really know what that means. But okay.
So basically, there's we have like the conservatives and the liberals, and then
America needs another party, but that's political, and we go into that.
Well, I don't like the party system. I don't understand why we vote for parties. I want to vote for people, frankly. But it's
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, but that's political and.
well, here's an interesting. Okay, so everyone's got a chip in their head. Everyone votes by thinking. Or what?
Who would have to vote? The winner automatically is the person that put the chips in the head. No one would have to vote.
That's a really good point, right there. Well, so one of the articles that I saw recently said that there was only one voter in the next American election. Any idea who it is?
No.
The guy who owns Facebook. The Mark Zuckerberg. Because Mark Zuckerberg, basically the number of people, he knows everybody, basically, because he knows everyone who is on Facebook he has information on. He has the ability to sway public opinion any way he wants, whether he is or not. Almost, yeah.
Yeah. Can I say about the whole like residential school or Hitler thing? Another thing about that is it's almost cruel to erase like John A. MacDonald is not just to say to get rid of him completely is just wrong to the people that actually had to go through that experience, that were in a residential school. It's like saying that their problems never existed.
Well, I think if you try to erase it from history, yes. I think the question that the world is struggling with right now is should we be removing these statues from prominent places in society, and perhaps replacing them with people who are more
maybe yes, but not destroy the statues, relocate them to a museum.
Exactly. Well, yes, where they can have a plaque on them that says, look, here's the deal. He was instrumental in creating Canada, but he was also, had atrocious record with Indigenous people or as part of the culture of the time. I mean, I think there's always a concern to me about demonizing specific people. The evil, to me, the evil of like someone like Hitler is not even just Hitler. It's about everyone else who has. Everyone else who bought into it as well, if that makes sense.
So you can't.
I need to go now.
Aha!
Okay,
very, very wise, Golden Wolf. A good time to leave. Any final thoughts? Are you going off to get your chip inserted right now in your brain? Maybe not.
I just need to go and pack because we're going to my dad's later.
Oh, fantastic! All right, well, say hi to Dad for us.
I will.
Bookofcool.com. Just throwing it out there. Bookofcool.com.
I think there's a game on Roblox called History
Thanks for joining us, Golden Wolf.
There's a game on Roblox called History Simulator.
See ya. Bye, Golden Wolf.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, hit it, Cosmo. What were you saying?
Bye.
I saw this game on Roblox called History Simulator.
Oh.
Where you go back in time, and you choose what you'd want to do.
Ha.
In
like various times in history, or is it one specific time in history?
Yeah.
So, and have you tried it? What did you do? What did you change?
I changed. I prevented all the civil. I prevented all the world wars.
Oh wow. Okay.
But then
How did you change in
I didn't stop the plague outbreak.
You didn't stop the plague outbreak.
I could have.
What did you have to do in order to do that?
It was a bunch of things.
Yeah. Is it based on history? Like, is it actually based on historical facts? Like, is it like you've got to remove all the rats, or you've got to, or you have to stop someone from being assassinated?
Some of the things are just so
Or you have to
big
assassinate
that
someone.
in order to remove them, you would have to remove entire species of animals or entire cultures of people in order to stop these things from happening. So in a way, some of the things that happened were almost, maybe they would have been played out differently, but they still would have happened in some way.
That's funny. That's interesting. I don't entirely agree with you. Because I don't know. Like, I feel like you don't want to approach now as if you have no power over the future, right?
No.
I think
no.
I think what's most important now would be to have these debates about what's happening now, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
Like I almost wish that we could use our brain power for that, and we're kind of doing it when we're talking about Neuralink. We're talking about let's try to get ahead. Well, let's try to get ahead of the technology, and instead of just creating this stuff and blindly stumbling forward, let's try to figure out what it like. Let's think about what it could do. Like there's a I can't remember Amy something. Amy. I can't remember her name now. Amy Webb. Amy Webb is a futurist, and her job is to come up with sort of mathematical-based models of the future. Like look at the way the world is now and try to figure out where it's going to be in 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 years. I just think that's what an amazing job that would be, to sit there and try to figure out where things are going. I mean, maybe, James, you were saying that basically the medical science community knew that a pandemic was possible, but I think the general population never got that message, right? I mean, I think that's like, we could have stopped a lot of this if we just acted faster or had things in place that could have stopped this when it first happened. The only reason, like SARS was an example that Toronto got hit pretty hard by SARS. And then a lot of the population stopped coming. A lot of people stopped coming to Canada and to Toronto specifically because of SARS. That was exactly the right thing to do. You know what I mean? It was to stop people traveling, basically. So James says, we knew the specific virus was a massive risk. We started telling people in December this was going to be huge. And I guess the point is that no one jumped on it fast enough, or very few. Well, certainly North America seems to have been a bit slow on the uptake. I also feel that, but one of the other problems is, in countries where you're used to just doing what you're told because the government will kill you if you don't, when it comes to a pandemic, that's incredibly effective.
That's dark.
Yeah, isn't it? But that's the reality.
Kill you?
SARS-1 killed like 1,000 people in total, James. Because I remember it was a huge thing here that people were terrified of in Toronto. Like Toronto was basically shut down. The UK made a massive mistake of preparing for a flu pandemic instead of coronavirus. Yeah. What's up, Noodles?
What we're saying right now is you need to think about the future. That's sort of what I'm saying is you can't change. What I'm basically been trying to say this entire time is you can't change the past. It's impossible. And even if it was possible, I don't know if we'd want to. And I think instead of focusing on trying to change the past, just change the future.
Right. Plan for the future.
Mm-hmm.
But how does that? So where are we on the? I don't know if we want to discuss the statues thing, but where are we on the statues thing then? So we're going to put them in museums and we're going to put plaques on them that say why they're not out in the public anymore.
Or maybe there could be like more museums built, or something like maybe these big old buildings that have these statues dedicated to these people could be turned into museums. Or if they're still being in use, parts of can be turned into museums. Like there's a jail that used to be near here.
We're getting a bit of feedback from you. Do you have your sound on as well? I think we still have Commander Cosmo. I'm not sure.
I'm not gonna say where what the jail is, because I'm not gonna say names like that because I'm not supposed to.
Well,
but there's a jail.
Sorry, what was that?
There's a jail near here. You probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. I've filmed at it numerous times.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, many times.
Cool. But basically, this jail, it's like the jail buildings have been actually turned into office buildings now.
It's a mental health facility now, isn't it?
It is?
I think so. Isn't it connected?
I think the actual old building of the jail is actually offices.
But I think it's offices for that medical thing.
It's offices for that. But yes, I think it's but the basement of these offices, whatever they're for, I don't know. But it's still the jail.
Oh, really?
It still has
Oh, so it's like a museum to that stuff.
Yeah, you didn't know this, but but I think you can actually visit it. Not now, probably. But...
Well, I filmed there when it was still a jail. Like I was in jail,
Oh.
basically. My character
How
was
are
in
you
jail.
in jail?
Well, my character was in jail.
Mom says it's not. It wasn't used. It's not used as a jail, but there are jail cells still
Right.
down there.
So,
just to show people.
well, that's smart. So you can see what a jail used to be like. We don't have to pretend that we treated our prisoners well, or that they were comfortable, or maybe they were. Let me just see. There's a couple other things. Oh, I want to talk about a couple more things. Let's switch gears for a second, because there's one thing there's a couple things I thought were really cool that I've thrown in the show notes here. One of them is this idea of and Baz, did I tell you this? I don't know if I told Baz this or not. The idea that is it the University of Singapore, the National University of Singapore? There's a paper they've just released and a little video presentation about how they have used sound to pick locks. So the sound of putting a key into the lock is recorded. It's run through these brilliant algorithms. Like it's just such smart math where they figure out, where the different sort of peaks and valleys on the key is, and then it works out like 3 or 4 different possible keys that you could then print up and try in the lock, and one of them generally works. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you think it's time to get rid of traditional locks then? Is it time to just come up with something different?
But how much work is it to actually do that?
Well, it's taken how many hundreds of years now, ever since a lock was created, for them to come up with this concept. But I think the idea that it's now possible to do. I mean, their point, which I thought was really smart, was they said, okay, yes, we can pick a lock. That's a lot easier. It's a lot less complicated to pick a lock. But you have to have access to the lock. You have to have access where there's not someone looking at you going like, what is that suspicious guy trying to pick the lock doing? Whereas in this situation, you have your smartphone. Your smartphone picks up the sound of the key going into the lock. You go off and print out a key, and then you can have access whenever you want.
Huh.
Isn't that wild?
That is crazy.
Now, it's not perfect yet, obviously, and it's just sort of like a proof of concept thing. But I was like, it's so simple that I just thought it was genius. And I wondered, like, at what point do we sort of go, like, I guess at some point we have to start saying, like, oh, I guess key locks are obsolete now. Like, because I'm assuming that app will become available to everybody soon, right?
Oh yeah, key locks.
Yeah.
Oh, lockpicking lawyer is a good guy that does.
Yeah, I think I think I shared that last time that we talked about locks. There's another one that I've got in here that I put in there that just sort of shows how locks work and how you pick them. Just to sort of remind myself, I was watching it to remind myself how locks worked, and it occurs to me that I should probably put these notes in our chat so people know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Let me do this. Let me paste.
Yeah, having a lock on your door doesn't necessarily stop people. It just delays them, which is almost, especially like if you live in the problem with that, it's good if you live in like a community where there's a lot of people around all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, they're basically, Ruby K raises a really good point where they're saying that the lock is not so much impenetrable as it is just makes it a lot easier than someone just...
Stand up and stretch your legs.
I'm standing!
How do you talk to an amoeba?
It's easier to smash a window than pick a lock.
I missed the punchline. What was the joke? I missed the joke.
Cal says no padlock was safe from my paper clips.
Yeah, same for me. I just love doing that stuff. I've always found locks. I found it something very sort of just, I don't know, something very rewarding to me about the idea of being able to pick a lock without a key. And the idea that you're using technology, or the technology and the people have become so smart that they can figure out. I mean, it's worth looking at the paper. There's an attachment on the on that link that I just put out there to the original, to the paper, and also to the little presentation that she gave about how she did it. It was just the math they used and the logic they used to figure out how to convert those sound recordings into an actual key was just extraordinarily clever to me.
Well, now think about it. The whole thing with new technology is, I feel like sometimes it was just easier when if you were sick, you died, done.
Unless you're the person who got sick and died.
Exactly, but you know what? That's just how it was, and I don't know. I just feel like technology comes with so many pros and cons sometimes. It's just exhausting.
Well, I think that's a kind of a dangerous attitude to have about it, though, isn't it? I mean, is that
No, I know.
we need to
I
use
know.
our technology to
We need
save those
to.
lives.
We need to save people, and I agree with that completely, but
Hmm.
sometimes you need a break from thinking about all the problems in the world and rather just play
Well,
Animal Crossing.
Absolutely, and technology again can also help with technology can help with mental health. It can help with if you want to look. Facebook did a whole thing where they just put happy stuff in people's news feeds, and all of a sudden, weirdly enough, they were all happy. So you could definitely.
Sorry, I'm being very pessimistic right
No,
now.
it's fine. We get. I mean, like
I think I just need Animal Crossing. That's my problem.
I usually need lunch when I get low. It's usually because I need lunch. And then there's one last thing that I'll mention here, which I really liked because I just thought it was just kind of again sort of inspiring. Was that this 16-year-old guy? He's not a kid to you. It's like an old man to you.
No.
Has built these smart
He's
glasses.
a teenager.
He's built these smart glasses.
Teenagers can be smart, and it's stupid that some adults think that teenagers are just dumb teenagers and they're stupid and they do stupid stuff all the time. Done. Okay, that was my little input there.
I do think there's a tendency for us old folks to go like, oh my God.
I just saw the viewer go down, so I don't know if it's because of what I just said or a few people just left, but I found it funny that when I said that.
That's fine. We're not worried about who's watching. We're worried about what we're talking about. That's and people can come and go as they want. So it's not a problem. Baz Noodles sounds like Baz now.
Yeah, I'm a girl. Hi.
I like that Noodles now sounds like Baz because they're both sounding pessimistic about everything.
I'm sorry. I'll be more optimistic. That's my job here.
You don't have to be. That's the whole thing. It's like, look, this stuff. I do the same thing where I struggle with some stuff sometimes. What was that, Baz?
I said I'm the pessimistic one.
Baz likes to be pessimistic. What's funny is he likes to be the dark cloud on screen, but the reality is, or on stream.
Yeah.
But the reality is, he's actually pretty positive about most stuff. I got to say.
Well, when it comes to revolutionary stuff like technology, I personally am really pessimistic with that stuff on stream or without stream. I just don't like. I just don't like the idea of like humans doing everything. Honestly.
Humans are, absolutely humans are an issue, are a problem. We got to figure, I almost feel like, one of the things that really sort of struck me was how much nature came back during the pandemic. Like when we shut down, when the planes stopped flying, when the cars stopped driving, when people stopped going out, the place just came alive. It was like animals and birds and everything. I couldn't get over it. If only we could somehow.
Cloud of positivity.
There was a great quote I thought during the pandemic where they said, where someone said.
Honestly, humans suck. We just have to fix a lot of mistakes. Let's do it now. Come on, idiots.
Yeah,
Is that what they said?
just fix it. Yeah. No, basically they said, well, yeah, global warming, yeah, pollution. What are you going to do? Shut the world down? But of course, that's exactly what we did when it came to the pandemic, right? So why on earth wouldn't we do the same kind of thing to fix any kind of like climate emergency stuff? There's something else that I thought was interesting is when I was growing up, we used to call it pollution. And then we started calling it climate change, which just doesn't sound quite, people can argue about climate change. No one says pollution's good, right?
Yeah.
I almost want to go back to saying pollution because I feel like, and then people are saying we should change it to climate emergency now because then it's less of a debatable thing.
I think we are just pollution and we have to clean ourselves up. Done.
Humans have to sort their shiitakes up. We got to get our shiitakes together.
Why are you so obsessed with mushrooms, David?
I don't know what it is. I love them. Nobody wants to breathe bad air. That's it. Erin Cross, thank you very much for the subscription. She's late to the stream, but you just got out of work. Oh, fantastic. Well, I think we're just beginning to wrap up now, I think.
Sorry, Erin Cross, but you can watch the
Oh my God!
or whatever.
Just skip the first.
We're not ending soon, David.
We're not. We're going forever.
I have to leave soon, actually.
What? Where are you going, Noodles? What do you got to do?
Yeah, we.
Hey, mindless drone. Thank you very much.
My friend, I told her I'd.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Where are you going? Are you socially distanced? You wearing a mask?
We're biking.
Oh, cool. I was thinking I have a wardrobe fitting tonight, so I've got to go.
I don't know how much I want to go because I'm feeling sort of lazy, but it'll be fun.
I always find that I feel lazy until I get out there, and then I'm fine. But getting out there is always the hardest part.
You're wasting energy just as you talk about global warming, Cal.
Oh man, here we go.
Look at what I said about Baz being the pessimist. Cal's the pessimist.
Cal said she was a cloud of positivity.
Me and
Cal is the cloud of positivity for sure.
I sense a little sarcasm there, Lord Chunky.
What sarcasm? What is sarcasm?
Sarcasm. I don't know what you're talking about. You're too smart for that.
Marky the zombie shark spotted on the shores of Canada.
I'm gonna head out because I actually have someone else coming for like lunch today.
Wait,
Oh, what's going on? Are you doing? Who have you got? Have you got somebody visiting?
Where's
Yes.
the
I gotta go as well.
I can't remember her
It's
text.
in an hour, but I'm probably gonna head out anyway.
Where's the TechBandits server?
You know, I heard a whole thing about the fact that solar power. They're now saying that what are we going to do with the solar power, solar panels when they run out, when they stop working? Because the reality is they're going to be a terrible cleanup issue. So, other things to think about. All right. So yeah, the last little item that I had on our list was just these smart glasses that this kid had figured out, and people are already saying like that they're more intuitive and better to use than the original Google Glass stuff. And this kid had put it together with an Arduino and a couple of a transparent screen that you could pick up from like SparkFun. So I just thought it was kind of neat. I like seeing that stuff because I feel like it's.
I think you need more emotes for the channel. We need more raccoons and lizard and
We can't. We need a partner.
We need emotes. Oh, that's right. We're not allowed more emotes until we get partner. Is that how it works?
We need partner.
Oh, you do?
I see. HoloLens. I'll tell you techniques. I love the concept of the HoloLens.
Bye, guys.
All right, Iron Ham. Thank you very much for joining us.
Speaking.
Bag of chips. Bag of chips. Thank you for coming. Bag of chips.
Bye, Glenn.
There has to be one emote we don't need. Actually, no, they're all super cute.
They're all amazing. We do need a zombie shark emote, though. It's true. It's just little things that add up if we all watch our power consumption as a whole. Yeah, I mean but I think that's a really interesting point, Cal. Is that I think there's a tendency for us to focus on other people. And
David,
what's up?
I have to go now too.
Oh, Noodles. All right, Noodles. Have a good day. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, it was great.
Enjoy your friend play dates.
Bye.
Later, Gator.
Bye, everyone. It was really
I'll
fun
probably go for
talking
lunch
about.
now as
All
well.
right, go for lunch. Well, let's wrap this up.
We can just wrap it up now. I guess everyone's wrapped it.
We're wrapping up the stream. All right.
Okay, well.
So I shall say, look, thank you again. Thank you to everyone. If anyone needs to go, feel free to leap off. I'm just going to do my goodbyes. So I will say again, thank you to DStat, sponsorship level patron. So appreciate it. All of our patrons, all of our subscribers, all of our mods. Everyone except Commander Cosmo.
Mods.
And
thank you, mods.
yes, the mods. The mod squad.
Ruby K. Cal.
The cow.
Ruby K. Cal.
I'm pretty sure there's one more actually.
It really sucks that I have to thank Cal every time, though. Yeah, is there anyone else modding? Who else is modding today?
I honestly think you should be thanking Cal more with all the work she does.
Whatever.
Yes, Ruby K too.
Yeah.
Make fun of you if you
Ruby
weren't
K.
there.
You almost said Ruby there. Ruby K. You cannot thank me. That would actually make me happy.
Actually make me happy.
You're right, Cal. You're right. There's no thanks for you. I would hate to make Cal happy in any way. That would be a disaster. That would be like.
I'm thinking Cal and Ruby K. Ruby.
I thought the sound issues were a disaster, but actually making Cal happy would have just been, be shocking. Thanks, Legend, and the dude, and the boss. Who's the boss? I guess that's Cal.
Am I the boss now?
I think it's
Oh,
Cal.
no, that's Cal.
I think it's Cal.
Oh.
Yeah. Lord Chunky.
No, not Roomba K.
Lord Chunky. I like Roomba K. I like Roomba K. It's a great name. Maybe I'll call my Roomba that. Ruby the Roomba. Ruby Roomba. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I'll have to put a sticker on it that says Ruby Roomba. But what would I name Cal though? I got to find something to name after Cal.
Android.
Do you have any hammers in a workshop anywhere?
Oh, that's true. I could just name my hammer. I could name the hammer. That's so true. A Dragon Con distraction. Oh, how is Dragon Con going, by the way? Do you have a door wedge? And of course, everybody, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sort of getting involved in this stuff. It's it really helps to have people sort of leap in with their own thoughts on this stuff. And as I say, during the Tech Bandit stuff, I'm not as my attention is not so much on the stream, I'm afraid. So I apologize if I don't get to everybody or everything. I never do anyways. But Tuesdays are usually the way I go for that. And of course, this Tuesday, I spent the entire day trying to get my damn.
You don't name your fridge after me. The one item in your house which holds the thing you love the most.
Ooh, I have a tiny fridge. I have a tiny fridge in the basement where I put dead things. Maybe I should name that. I could name that Cal. That's where I put all like the dead bugs and the the pond water and stuff. Actually, speaking of which,
did you let the bee go?
Oh yeah. We had a wasp that we caught yesterday, and I let it go. Wait a sec, what number is this? Oh yeah, let me do this. I think I can show you. So that's our
David.
That's our pond water.
We all have to go.
All right, you can go. I'm gonna play. You can go. That's fun.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Noodles. Have a good one.
Bye everyone. It was fun.
This is the pond water. Thanks, Noodles. All right. That's the.
All right, yeah, I gotta go for lunch.
All right, enjoy your lunch. I think we're seeing you for like dinner tomorrow, aren't we?
Saturday.
Oh, is it Saturday? Okay, all right. I know. I knew it was one day, something like that.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah, it was a day.
And then Sunday I have to go and crash trains or something.
Sounds like fun.
That's my work. But I think I'm just looking at screens. I don't think I get to actually hurt anybody.
Oh.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Right.
I've scared everyone away now. Finally, the Tech Bandits is mine. All mine. Tomorrow is Saturday, is it not? Yeah, I think he's missed a day. I think Lord Chunky missed a day. I guess I can go back to this now. So yeah, thank you very much. God, there's some really interesting discussions today, and just like wow, I can't even. There's just so many things that we cover on this stuff. It's like it's just kind of fascinating. Main channel, new stuff, fan track channel, a DCTV channel. I don't know what that means. Panels from past cons. Oh, I see. And individual tracks are on Facebook, YouTube, and Discord. Oh, cool. Very cool. Noodle the Raccoon. Bye. Bye, Hewlett's. Peace and love from England. Thank you, Nismo the Gamer. And welcome, Nismo the Gamer. I don't think we saw you there before. Amazon's 42. Hello. Mr. Clean Tracy saying goodbye. His River Song. Really enjoy these streams. I'm glad you're doing them. Yeah, me too. I love it. I'm not sure what's going to happen as we move forward with school, because Baz starts school on Tuesday, and I guess the kids will go back the week after, the other kids. So I'm not sure when the best time for these things will be. But if there's not a good time for them, I think I might just do them anyways, because there's going to be a bunch of people stuck at home. There's a bunch of kids stuck at home doing remote learning anyways. So I say, like, let's just keep talking about this stuff. And if there's local kids who are available, fantastic. And if not, then we'll just deal with the global students and see what their perspective is on this stuff, because that'd be kind of fun. Yes, food for thought to take us to the weekend. Check out. I'll tell you, the other thing to check out is I really enjoyed, and I haven't done the show notes on this yet, but I really enjoyed the NVIDIA presentation. You don't have to watch the whole thing, maybe watch the highlights or whatever, but there's a few technologies there that are really cool. Like there's some AI tech that they're working on that they've sort of beefed up thanks to these new chips, but that I think apply to all of their GPUs. And the GPUs, just for those who don't know, the GPUs are being used in AI, they're using in like Bitcoin mining, all this kind of stuff. Basically, they're really good at doing, they're very good at doing simple math things. Well, maybe not even that simple. They're very good at doing math stuff, which is why they're used for video games and such, and graphics. But they've also got a couple of other things that they're working on, like a machinima system. So basically, it's an application that simplifies the process of taking footage and characters and such from games and manipulating them into your own stuff, which I thought the kids might have fun with. Because the machinima stuff's always really excited me. The idea of having like a film studio in your computer, is wonderful. But the idea that you could also bring in characters and sets and all this kind of stuff that already exists, and possibly even within a system, within a game system and a game world that people are already enjoying, just seems amazing to me. So Amazon 42 has not watched the StreamCon substitutes. No, neither have I, honestly. going live was the whole point. That's kind of the way I felt. So I work for a medicines company too. So similar discussions on ethics and risk and benefit apply to both there and with tech. Super interesting to listen to this one. Oh, thanks, Subateric. One of the things I really want to do with the kids is some biotech. So I've got a couple of kits and stuff that were very, very kindly sent to me from the Odin, from oh my God, how have I blanked on his name? That is ridiculous. He's got this fantastic game, Zane. Oh, for God's sake, why have I? This is, the problem is, I got to eat, but I'm losing the thread. Completely lost it. Josiah Zahner. So Josiah runs the Odin, and just a really smart, really interesting guy. So I would love I really want the kids to realize that there is, there is tech to biology, there is tech to medicine, there is tech to, this is all, the tech is not just about video games and robots and all this kind of stuff. I really want to sort of, the CRISPR stuff is something I'm really, really interested in. And the CRISPR stuff is stuff that they can actually start playing with now. Thanks to places like the Odin, you can actually get kits. That T-shirt. What's wrong with the T-shirt? It's Flynn's Arcade. Come on, it's Tron, for God's sake. It's just it's my 1980s thing. That's from Aaron gave me this from what is it? Aaron from Red Giant, amazing Red Giant folks. All right, I'm gonna go. It makes your chest look super buff. I can't handle it. It hurts my brain. What? That's super buff. It's my special effects. I've got a filter on. I got a special I've got a special fit filter on. That's what I've gone with, my fit filter. All right, Tron is amazing. I know I love Tron. Always love Tron. Yeah, tech for medicinal purposes, definitely where we're going. Yeah, it's the medical stuff is. It's so funny because when I got into biotech finally, and I was late to the game on a lot of this stuff, I suddenly realized that same interest that I had in computers and the way computers worked and speaking to computers and the code that allowed you to run computers and do amazing things with them, video games, visual effects, all sorts of simulations and such, that those things were just as interesting, if not in a way more powerful in the world of biology. The fact that there were tools that are available in nature that we can use to do this stuff, and there are things that we can sort of co-opt and use to our own purposes as well, for the same, and again with the same kind of repercussions, with the same kind of issues with the same kind of ethical issues as we've mentioned. Yes, the Boulder Hewlett. That's exactly it. More like Pebbles. I'm more like the Pebble as opposed to the Boulder. Maybe he's secretly training for a Henry Cavill. That's it. I'm bulking up for my Henry Cavill PC build. No, absolutely not. I'm eating a lot of bread. That's how I'm doing it. All right, everybody. I'm losing the will to live. I gotta go eat something. I should make the kids read my scientific papers on CRISPR, and that will learn them and keep them away from science. Oh, cool. Is there something I should read, James? I'd be interested to. Would I understand any of it is the next question. Kitsulane, bye-bye. Technique says bring a smoothie down before you start next time. Yeah, but someone has to make that smoothie, and that person is me. I had eggs. I did eggs. I did eggs, bread, a little bit of bacon. I thought I was stocked up, but I never expect to go. It always gets so I get so wrapped up in these discussions that I just the time just zips by. 5:20 a.m. here. I should probably either breakfast or sleep. Yeah, good point, Kitsulane. Make that decision and go with it. I barely understand it and I wrote it. Okay, I think you've answered that question. I might see. Oh yes, and I've also got to watch National Geographic's Mars. Thank you. Yes, P7. I must do that. Sunday I am working. I'm afraid it's a full-time job, so I am filming on Sunday, so I'm not able to do a stream. I am toying with the idea, if I can, sneaking away and joining Barnacules again for his podcast this week, because I had so much fun last week, and I think they might be talking about the new NVIDIA stuff, and I'm really curious to hear what they have to say about it, and I've got a few things that I wanted to throw in there, so I'm wondering if I might try to live stream. No, I can't live stream on set. I'm not even allowed to take photos on set, technically. Not that I don't. I take little photos every so often. I take little shots every so often. I'm not allowed to. I'm just not allowed to. They are so freaking paranoid about this stuff. They're so terrified that I'm going to somehow ruin the movie in some way by telling them something they're supposed to know. Barnacle says you are always welcome to join whenever you want. Well, then maybe maybe if I can, I'm going to try to bug him tomorrow because I really enjoyed that. So, yeah, Disney secrecy is even more. And Disney, I didn't even realize that Disney owned Nightmare Alley. So I didn't realize it was a Disney movie. But although maybe every movie is a Disney movie now. Don't they own like just about everything? All right, everybody. Thank you so much again to everybody. Again, mods. Thank you. You keep me safe. You keep me and the kids safe. My stomach is now growling in anticipation of food. We all know you're crashing a train so that what can hurt. Yeah, no kidding. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not crashing any trains. So I guess I should say, until we geek again, cheerio and huzzah. Oh, wait a second. Now, how do I stop it? Oh, right. I have to go press a button. Okay. It's so weird having a physical button to stop this stuff. So, all right. So, until we geek again, cheerio. Thank you so much. And huzzah! Where's the button? I can't find. Press all the buttons.